What's going on, basketball world? Hi, I'm Rick Kamla. We're the Fantasy NBA today. No Dr. A. We'll get him back on Thursday when we're up at 10 a.m. With the review of Wednesday night and then 11 a.m. with the preview of Thursday night when we get Dr. A back. Right now, it's you and it's me balling, okay? We have a lot of games here on Wednesday night. There's a lot of back-to-backs as well. The NBA is kind of compressed the beginning of the week here because of the national championship game and only 2 games on Monday night. We get Boston at Orlando, Philadelphia at Washington, Charlotte at Toronto, the Lakers at Dallas. Ooh la la. Miami at Chicago is going to be a great game. Okay. Portland at Utah, and I'll explain as we move along here. Portland at Utah, not going to be a great game, most likely. San Antonio at Golden State. Spurs fans, run for your lives. OKC at Phoenix. That's right. Phoenix is right back up to bat at home against the Thunder. This is probably not going to go well. Again, Andre Lemouche is our great producer. Has Coach Bud been whacked yet? Sorry, I can't resist. Denver at Sacramento. Ooh, there are tasty games tonight. Tasty games tonight. So Denver whacked Michael Malone yesterday. If you want to hear me rant on that, go fire up the recap of Tuesday night. And I begin the show with it. My magic man was Michael Malone. I'm not going to go back into it now. But you get Denver at Sacramento. David Adelman will be the interim coach for the Denver Nuggets tonight. Sac blew out Mike Brown. Denver blew out Michael Malone. And here we are. It's the interim bowl between David Adelman and Doug Christie. Kind of funny, right? Doug Christie used to play for Rick Adelman, who is the great coach of those Sacramento King teams with Weber and Vlade and White Chocolate and Bibby, and Doug Christie. He was their Keon Ellis. He was their defensive dog, their Tony Allen type of guy, right, on those teams. He was absolutely terrific player. Doug Christie was super athletic, made threes, dunked on you, great defensive player. I mean, he's not a Hall of Famer. He's a really good role player, though. And now the interim coach of the Sacramento Kings. That's a tasty game. Houston at the Clippers. I mean, late night, right? Clippers second of a back-to-back, but they get Kawhi Leonard back tonight. And Houston will then be in there chopping wood, as they always do. Andre says, haha, Bud's still with the Suns. Not for long. I am not trying to get Coach Bud fired. I'm not. But because I like Coach Bud. I do. Does he deserve to keep the Phoenix job? I don't know. It's a bleep show. It's toxic. It's not all his fault, but we just know changes are coming in Phoenix, okay? But the coaching carousel in the NBA has never been nuttier or crazier than Taylor Jenkins and Michael Malone getting blown out of teams that are hovering around the top 4 in the West with like 2 weeks left in the season, a week left in the season. To me, it's unprecedented. The previous nuttiest thing that I saw in terms of coaching, and maybe there's been other nuttier stuff that I'm kind of forgetting right now, but I can tell you this happened, I don't know, 12 years ago, 10 years ago, something like that. Lionel Hollins was the coach of the Memphis Grizzlies. He led the Grizzlies to their franchise record regular season performance, okay? Best regular season of Memphis's career under Lionel Hollins that year, okay? They blew him out. George Karl led the Nuggets to their best regular season ever. I'm pretty sure Memphis, the Clippers, and Denver all had their best regular seasons ever and all blew out their coaches. I may have been wrong with one of the best regular seasons ever, but I think I'm right about this. George Karl, they had a great regular season, blown out. Vinny Del Negro was the coach of the Los Angeles Clippers. And again, I'm 99% sure they had their franchise high for wins in the regular season that year, and they blew out Vinny Del Negro. So you had Hollins, Del Negro, and Karl all blown out after leading their teams to the most regular season wins in their franchise history. That was crazy, okay? This is crazier. Let's get to it, man. Streamers here for Wednesday night with your boy Cam. Keon Ellis, baby. Malik Monk is out. He's already been ruled out of this game. Where's my sack notes? Where's sack? Keegan Murray is doubtful. No. Jamal Murray is doubtful. Keegan Murray is questionable. All right. And there's 2 Murrays in that game, so I got to get that figured out. And I just did. Keon Ellis is a fabulous streamer tonight. Fabulous. And you're going to want to roster him for the rest of the week anyway. 3 games left for Sacramento. Is it 3 games left for Sacramento? Yes, it is. 3 games left for Sacramento. Fire up some Keon Ellis. Trey Lyles, you know how I feel about Trey Lyles. I'm not into it. As I say that, probably going to go have 18 with 5 threes tonight. He never goes off on my watch, okay? If you feel good, and Keegan Murray's got to be out, by the way. Keegan Murray is questionable for this game. If Keegan Murray is ruled out, Trey Lyles will get another start. The other problem with that is it's the second to last game to go off tonight. I believe it's a 10 o'clock Eastern game. So if you've got to toggle away from a Keegan Murray and Trey Lyles is the only thing I can go with, I mean, I guess it's not that bad of an option at 10 Eastern when most of the other games and players are already unavailable to you. But I'm just not a Trey Lyles guy. He tends to underperform for me. But I bring him up because Keegan Murray is questionable and he might start. Wendell Carter Jr. had 9 defensive stats last night. I saw that. That happened. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope as well. They're playing good ball right now. They have taken me out of Orlando has 2 players, Paulo Banchero and Franz Wagner, of course, with Jalen Suggs out. They actually, have 3 really good players typically. But, all of the other guys, leave them on the waiver wire. Well, Wendell Carter Jr. and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope are changing that a little bit. If you're stretched really thin, you need a big, go get Wendell Carter Jr. If you're stretched and you need, some 3-and-Ds, some steals and some threes, you can look at KCP tonight. It's a home game against the Boston Celtics. The Celtics may be resting guys, and it's the second of a back-to-back for both teams. And Orlando's trying to hold off Atlanta for 7th place, basically, and home court advantage in the 7-8 game. I think it's a 2-game lead for Orlando in that right now. So they're going to be still in go-for-it mode here. Boston may be like, all right, we beat the Knicks. We maintained our dominance over them. Now let's do some rest and let's kind of chill. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope over the last week is 20th. Like a really good stat line overall. 14, 3-3, 2.5 steals, 2 threes per game. With really good percentages. This could be, we do situations to watch and we do streamers, right? And they're blended kind of because of, we are talking to at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and we don't have a lot of knowledge on the questionable players yet. So we've got to kind of conditionally and theoretically do this stuff, but we're here to help you guys and we give you the good stuff. Reed Sheppard may be on the radar tonight. He's got to start, okay? Fred VanVleet is doubtful for tonight's game against the LA Clippers. I mean, Fred VanVleet, you want to talk about a tough guy to roster this year? Holy cow. Probably never going back to FVB. He may be on the dead to me list. He might be on the dead to me list after this year. Reed Sheppard, why not? If you're Houston, why not? I mean, Aaron Holiday, I know Ime Udoka likes some Aaron Holiday. I guess he could start Amen Thompson at the 1, maybe move Atari Eason into the starting lineup. But just look out for Reed Sheppard. We could get a Reed Sheppard game. Could not. But it all comes down to the starting lineup. And it's a 10:30 game. That's probably just a no. I think I'm barking up the wrong tree here. I really do. As I talk, I'm like vetting this as I talk. I think I'm barking up the wrong tree here because you're going to wait all that long. Like to find out if Reed Sheppard is starting, you're going to have to wait until about 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe a little bit later than that. Maybe like 9:45, 45 minutes in advance of the game. All the decisions are already going to be made at that point. Forget it. I'm moving on. I had another one here, too. I guess these are situations to watch. Like I said, it's blended. Steven Adams. Şengün is questionable for the game tonight. Jabari Smith is questionable for the game tonight, okay? So if they're both out, fire up some Steven Adams, but it's a 10:30 game, so you probably won't be able to fire up some Steven Adams. So the West Coast thing in that way is kind of a buzzkill for fantasy owners, and you kind of got to go with the earlier games because like I said in the previous episode, and I'll say it again, if you're still playing right now, it's about winning a championship and closing the deal. And to do that, you have to mitigate risk, you have to reduce variability, and you have to increase the known over the unknown. You have to eliminate the unknown, okay? So the unknown would be, all right, VanVleet is out. Who's going to start for him? I don't know. I got to go somewhere else, okay? Steven Adams, boy, I would love to play him if Şengün is out, but I don't know. It's an unknown. You stay away from that type of stuff. And it makes it tough. Like if you're a Şengün manager and you're going all the way up, to 9:45 Eastern time, Steven Adams is going to be out there, okay? But if you're in a Yahoo league, Şengün is not going to be, you're not going to be able to drop him down to the INJ. You might be, or the IL. You may be able to drop him into an IL plus, but does your league have that? Okay, so it's just dicey. A lot of unknown there. And then sorry to keep going to these late night games, but it's the guys that are popping up. Peyton Watson, okay? Peyton Watson. I actually, Jamal Murray's doubtful. Okay, so I like Peyton Watson tonight. That to me, that's a known to me. I mean, it's a bit of an unknown, but it's a known unknown. I'm sorry. If I'm like talking myself into confusion here. I feel like Peyton Watson is going to be a winner of the Michael Malone to David Adelman switch. I feel like he is going to be a winner here. Nikola Jokic has complained about their defense, and I'm sure Michael Malone has been preaching it. I know Ryan Saunders is their defensive coordinator. David Adelman, their offensive coordinator. Now he's the head coach. But you need to improve on defense. If you're them, Peyton Watson's going to help you improve on defense. That's what he does out there. And he's a young guy. Malone, wasn't really playing at all early in the season. I just feel like he's going to be the management. Like, we want to see more Peyton Watson, and David Adelman will do what management wants because he's an interim coach and he wants to keep the job. I just feel like we're going to get a little rise from Peyton Watson. Call it a hunch, call it a gut. But Peyton Watson, like, if you need blocks, he's phenomenal at the block category. And in a game like this at Sacramento, like, what if all of a sudden we get a nutty starting 5 adjustment, Peyton Watson's starting and Aaron Gordon's not, or something like that. Like, maybe Gordon was a Malone guy. Maybe Watson's more of an Adelman and Kroenke guy. I'm just saying there's drama out there. And I think this is like unknown that we might be able to capitalize on with Peyton Watson. I just feel like he's going to pop a little bit now that Michael Malone is out. It's a hunch. If you're buying my hunch, then activate it. If you're not buying my hunch, then look elsewhere, because we're moving on here to players. Actually, I got a couple other streamers for you here. They'll come from the Miami Heat, and these guys are known, okay? Now, the unknown is Andrew Wiggins, but the good news is Miami and Chicago is a game earlier in the night. So you're going to find out if Andrew Wiggins is out in time to activate on some of these guys, right? Pell Larson. The scoring's not great. The defensive goodies are. Keep him in mind. But I'll stack them like this. The number one streamer from Miami is Davion Mitchell. Okay. Last game, 12, 4, and 9, a block and a steal. He's been absolutely terrific for several weeks now. That's a known. He's playing 32, 33, 35 type of minutes every single game. He is a known. With or without Andrew Wiggins, he's a known. So fire up some Davion Mitchell. Frankly, as I look at this board, Keon Ellis stands out, is a hot streamer tonight. Peyton Watson stands out to me. Davion Mitchell stands out to me. Right now, that's it. Okay? And then you've got some more fringy type of guys like the Pell Larsons, Duncan Robinson. Again, Duncan Robinson needs Andrew Wiggins to be out. If Andrew Wiggins is in, Duncan Robinson is dead to you. If Andrew Wiggins is out, fire up some Duncan Robinson if you need threes. He had 21 points and 5 threes in the last game. And, was that the pop and then you fade? Like, is he going to have 21 with 5 threes again? Probably not. But Duncan Robinson lives around 13 to 15 points and about 3 to 4 threes a game. Okay. Really, every shot he takes is from the 3 line. So, no, I don't think he'll have 20 again. He's probably going to have 15 with 4 threes. Okay. And that should look pretty good in your lineup. Now, players and situations to watch. We have, as I said, Şengün and Jabari Smith are questionable. Chicago. This is going to be a critical injury report right here. I believe that what is going on in Chicago, they had a rest game last night. No Kobe White, no Giddey, no Vucevic, no Kevin Huerter, all out last night. And they put injuries on it and stuff like that. But that was all rest, okay? Because Chicago has a monster game tonight. They're playing, where is that? At home against the Miami Heat. And this is one of my ATS releases for later on in the show. But these teams have the same record right now, 36 and 43. They are right now toggling 9 and 10 in the East. And you're like, 9 and 10, they suck. Well, they don't look at it that way. They're looking at tonight's game as we want to win. to secure home court advantage in the 9-10 game in the play-in tournament. Okay. I know it's like low-level competitiveness, but it's nevertheless competitiveness. And so I think Chicago rested guys last night. I think they're all going to play tonight. But we got to wait to find out later on in the day. But this to me is a known. Kobe White's playing tonight. Josh Giddey's playing tonight. Vucevic is playing tonight. And Kevin Huerter's playing tonight. That's the world according to Cam. If you go to the Sports Ethos app later on today and you fire up with your left little thummy finger there and you're scrolling through all the blurbs that we have that are so awesome and it's free, go to your favorite app store and download it now. And you're going to find out that all of those guys are in, I believe. And so, but it's a situation, to monitor here throughout the day. Philadelphia, Quentin Grimes and Justin Edwards are questionable, which leads to Lonnie Walker and Jared Butler. And if Grimes and Edwards are both out, fire up some Lonnie Walker. You might get a 30-point game from Lonnie Walker. And it obviously would open up a lot of usage rate and stat space for Jared Butler as well. Situation to watch, Quentin Grimes. I mean, obviously, you're going to want to play him. He's been awesome. His point prop tonight's 24.5, okay? Like he's up there with the Bookers and those guys. That's how well he's playing. So obviously a very key situation to watch right there. For Toronto, Jakob Poeltl and Scotty Barnes are questionable. And the pivots off of those guys are Orlando Robinson and also Jonathan Mobo, who had flirted with a triple-double, had defensive goodies in the last game. I don't think Scotty Barnes is going to play again this year. He's got the finger or hand injury that he's been dealing with, and they're calling him questionable and then ruling him out. I think he's done. I don't think he's going to play again. And Poeltl, I don't know. Because when Quickly plays, Poeltl also usually plays. But they have taken IQ off the injury report, and Jakob Poeltl is on the injury report as questionable. So I don't know. That's an unknown to me. But I know it's an early game, so you're going to be able to pivot off of Poeltl to an Orlando Robinson. And if Poeltl's out, Orlando Robinson is a really good streamer for you, but you got to look alive on that. We already talked about Wiggins questionable with Miami. Portland, Denny Avdia is questionable. Shaedon Sharpe is questionable, okay? The pivots off of those guys, pardon me, I'm wrong. Denny Avdia is questionable. The pivots off of Denny, and hopefully he can play, are Shaedon Sharpe and Toumani Camara. Now, you're probably going to play Sharpe and Camara anyway, but I'm just letting you know, and you may already know this. If Denny Avdia is out, way more goodies for Camara, way more goodies for Sharpe. It's not like actionable for you. Just letting you know, like if you are a manager of Sharpe or Camara and you see that Denny Avdia is ruled out, rejoice. That's good news for you. But we don't want him to miss this game. Anthony Simons is questionable. Again, it'd be better if they just ruled him out, right? If they just ruled him out for the year. Because I sniffed this out last week, picked up Delano Banton, helped me close the deal on some championships. Because once I saw forearm for Anthony Simons, I was like, I think they're going to shut him down. That speculation has been accurate. And so I don't think he's going to play tonight. The pivot off of him is obviously Delano Banton. So just want to reiterate that. I am wondering, I'm going to cross out the Lakers aren't going to rest tonight. They're not. They're not. They haven't been resting. The guys played in the second of a back-to-back at home against New Orleans. This is Lakers at Dallas. They're not going to rest. So I took them off the list, the rest list. Boston, I'm waiting on a salty injury report from Boston. At Orlando tonight, I am. Maybe Tatum doesn't play. Maybe Brown doesn't play. Maybe White doesn't play. Maybe Holiday doesn't play. Horford didn't play last night, so he probably comes back tonight. Porzingis played last night. Does he play in both of a back-to-back? I am anticipating some rest from the Bostonians tonight. Golden State, right? Second of a back-to-back. You got San Antonio at home. And I know these games are important for seeding and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. So just look alive on that, okay? It's a later game. San Antonio at Golden State. Good luck. Good luck. Here's the buzzkill. If 4:45 or 6:15, you see that Curry and Butler are questionable, you might need to make other plans because they may not play. Okay. That's the unknown that sucks, especially with it being a West Coast game. Good luck. I just don't know what to tell you about that right now. Hopefully Golden State plays it straight, plays their guys. You just plug them in your lineup and you play them as you have. But it would not surprise me if their trainer Celebrini, who Steve Kerr loves hiding behind. Oh, the load management. I love it so much. But anyway, just look alive on Golden State. I'm kind of sniffing out some rest there. OKC. Do they rest somewhat tonight? They're at Phoenix. They're going to crush Phoenix, okay? Does SGA play again? The one thing in our favor is these teams, like the really good teams that are not going to be in the play-in tournament, they get 5 days off next week, Monday through Friday. Then they'll either play Saturday or Sunday, game one of their playoff series, okay? So, like, why not play your guys now, right? And keep them lathered up. Then you'll have the 5 days off. They can lick their wounds and rest and recover, and then bam, hit a high note for the playoffs. So maybe we won't get all this rest that I'm possibly foretelling, but just want to put it out there that these teams, second of a back-to-back, they may take a little haircut off their lineup tonight. And then my note here for Phoenix is Coach Bud fired yet? ? Andre, has Coach Bud been fired yet? It's the joke of the day. And I'm sorry to joke about a man's livelihood, but Mike Budenholzer is rich beyond belief. And so he's got that going for him. Money is not an issue in the Budenholzer household. And if Bud got fired, guess what? They pay him out all of the guaranteed money on his contract to not work. Okay. Like the coaching gig is rough, but at the same time, it's very, very lucrative. And these guys are well taken care of. They do have to deal with drama and adversity, though. Risers, after what we saw on Wednesday night. Brandon Williams. Remember, Andre double-checked, the Suns head coach is still Mike Budenholzer. We've had all these conversations about Brandon Williams and hot pickup and all this kind of stuff. He has been elevated to a standard contract off of the two-way contract that he was on. So this is just a shout out to the young fella. He's now will be soon under contract with the Mavs. And I believe that this is happening, A, because they like him, but B, because Jaden Hardy now has an injury. Jaden Hardy's not playing tonight in this Lakers and Mavericks game. So I think they need Brandon Williams octane off that bench right now without Jaden Hardy. Bam. Let's bite the bullet here. I don't know if this makes them a first apron team or a second apron team. All that stuff is like, it's way too confusing for me, man. I just know that the second apron has kind of sort of ruined the transaction aspect of the NBA in terms of not player contracts at the top level. You're a max guy, but it has hurt guys like Miles Turner. Miles Turner should have already been extended at $30 million a year. Let's call it 4 years, $30 million, $120 million. Already should have happened. Hasn't happened yet. Why? Second apron. Teams being careful. Teams being cautious. All this kind of stuff. The second apron sucks. I have no idea why the Players Association signed that absolutely dreadful collective bargaining agreement for them. Okay? It's great for us because we get basketball. We didn't get a labor shortage. A labor shortage. What in the hell? I am not in lockout mode in terms of the lingo, right? But we did not have, any kind of like loss of work, loss of games, loss of the NBA. So that's a win for us. And I said this on NBA radio with Antonio Daniels, 2 years ago, whenever they did the CBA. This CBA is god awful for the players. I don't know why they signed this thing, and it's proven to be that. It's too restrictive. I get that the NBA needed to kind of maybe reel in a little bit. This is like a fishing gesture. They had to reel in a little bit the wild, wild west. And, there was like a kind of no salary cap and no cap. And, rich teams could just spend. Joe Lake up in Golden State and then pay out a bunch of luxury tax payments, disperse them around the league. I frankly like that model. I love Joe Lacob as an owner. I'd be the same way. Bye. I'm a billionaire, bro. What does this money matter to me? I want rings. I want parades. I want banners, yo. So I'd be going for that too. I'd be spending. The Charlotte Hornets would be making money off me. All of like the little teams that would be making. They'd be every year. They'd be waiting on the Rick Kamla paycheck. Here we go, baby. How much is Cam giving us this year? Oh, $11.5 million. By the way, that gets chopped up to all of, I believe it's the non-tax paying teams. All of the tax-paying teams, the luxury tax is all like bundled up and then chopped up and sent out to all the non-tax-paying teams. Again, I'm not a CBA expert. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. I would be one of the teams sending money out to the shitty teams every year. As I'm always playing until June, and I can still taste the champagne, like, because we just had a parade. I'd be that guy. Joe Lakeup, love you, bro. Love you. The second apron is absolutely horrible for Joe Lakeup, man. I call it the Joe Lakeup rule, okay? Like, if you want to say he ruined the league, blah, blah. I mean, he didn't ruin the league. He created a dynasty, okay? And I love how he did it. He bought championships. I knew Andre would help me out with this. Half of the amount is allocated to the franchises that have been diligent and have not exceeded the salary cap. Half of the amount of the luxury tax payments. I wonder what happens to the other half. Does it go in Adam Silver's back pocket? Does it go to NBA Cares? Where does it go? I'd like to know that. Because if I'm Joe Lakeup and I'm paying all these luxury tax payments, damn it, I want to know where they're going. I mean, I know I got to pay them, but dang it, I want to know where they're going, bro. All right, where are we? Wow, that thought bubble came out of Brandon Williams. How? I don't know why. Anyway, he's on a standard contract right now, and I think that's pretty cool. Shout out to the young fella. Brandon Pajemski, balling. 4th in basketball monster value. 4th over the last week. 4th. Let me double check that again. I feel like I'm like, there's no way he's 4th. I've got the last week. Let's go for the full. No, I need not the full season. I need the last week. You big dummy. All right, over the last week, Brandon Pajemski, 5th. 5th. Brandon Pajemski, 24 points, 7 boards, 5 assists, 1.3 steals, 5 threes per game, shooting 57%. Steve Kerr, what in the hell was wrong with you all year not starting this guy, not playing this guy, not unleashing this guy until now? Like, what in the F was wrong with you? Steve Kerr literally wins the award for worst rotations of the year in basketball. No question about it. Coach Bud's not far behind. Not far behind. Eric Spoelstra, and look, I love Eric Spoelstra. The admiration and respect is just bountiful. Great guy, awesome coach, great in the community. Like, Eric Spoelstra is just kind of perfect in a lot of ways, okay? He's a GOAT, and I love him. And his rotations have completely sucked this year, okay? Like, you can love something and be critical of it at the same time. We do it with our wives or that kind of thing, right? You love them, you can still be critical and all that kind of stuff. Kawhi Leonard, risers. Didn't play last night. He will play tonight. He's going to have another fat stat line. He's 6th over the last week in fantasy basketball. 26 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals per game, and he's making 2.73 balls per game. Colin Sexton. Wow. Colin Sexton. That's right, folks. 22nd in value over the last week. 24, 3 and 4 PRA, 1.3 steals, 2 3 balls per game, making 55% of his shots overall and 89 from the line. He's been great. He's averaging 31 minutes a game. Utah's playing him. I don't know why they won't play Lauri Markkanen or Jordan Clarkson or John Collins, but they're playing Colin Sexton, and that's pretty cool. I don't know why they're not playing Walker Kessler. I don't know why they're not playing those 4 guys and playing Colin Sexton. I don't know if Colin Sexton is going to play in any of the subsequent games for the Utah Jazz, okay? Because I hate their tank, and I don't want them to get Cooper flagged. I'm going to be so pissed if, the NBA needs some frozen envelopes around this piece. You can't let Utah get Cooper flagged. You can't honor this tank. You can't enable this tank. That's what you would be doing. Danny Ainge would be like, see, I told you. We tanked and we got Cooper flagged. Don't let I got Denny Abdi on the brain. Don't let Danny get Cooper. Don't. And Danny Ainge, you know I love you overall. Love you overall. Huge Danny Ainge fan. He is on the Mount Rushmore of general managers in league history. Okay. I freaking love some Danny Ainge. One of the best talent evaluators I have ever seen in any sport. And I hate the tank that Utah's doing right now. Can't hate it any more than I do. When you are an ass-rotten team like Washington, Okay. They have no talent. They literally are almost completely bare of talent. Utah's not John Collins, Markkanen, Kessler, Sexton, Clarkson, Keontae George, Isaiah Collier, Kyle Filipowski. Stop it. You got 8 studs out there in Utah. I'm over the tank, man. And I'm not saying you can win a chip with this team, but I'm telling you right now, they are in the play-in tournament if they play it straight. I'm telling you right now, I'll die on that hill. Utah Jazz are in the play-in tournament if they play it straight, and they don't, and it pisses me off. I do not want them getting Cooper flagged. You will hear this rant again and again leading into the draft. Christian Braun is a riser. 26th overall over the last week. Christian Braun of the Nuggets. What a year. I mean, yeah, you got to give the kid credit. He has ascended big time. I want to see where he's going to end up on the most improved list. I'm not saying he's up there with Cade Cunningham and Evan Mobley or Dyson Daniels. I'm not saying he's up there like at that level. But he should be in the top 10 he should get some votes, I think. I mean, he's just been great. 23, 7, and 4 over the last week with 1 steal and 2.5 threes. Donovan Clingan, been a top 30 guy over the last week, guys. 8, 13, and 1 PRA with 2.3 blocks and 1.7 steals. And the lines are really herky-jerky. There's really not a lot of double-doubles. It's like double digits here, some blocks and steals there. It's kind of a weird look on the game log, but the numbers overall are pretty damn good. So Clingan is a riser. And really, guys, you should look into putting him on your team right now if he's out there on waivers because the defensive goodies are there. All right. It is the Fantasy NBA today. Rick Kamla. There is no Steve Alexander today. We will get him back tomorrow. And let's move on to some fallers here. Fred VanVleet is doubtful for tonight's game. I'm not going to roster him again. Because the thing is too, like in Toronto, he was a phenomenal source of threes and steals. And so it made him at times like a late 2nd round pick, early 3rd round pick, because he's hovering around 20 points, hovering around 6, 7, 8 assists, like one of the better players in fantasy basketball, top 20, top 25 player in fantasy basketball, maybe top 30, right in that range. Like a guy where like Dr. A is going to be taking Dyson Daniels, and I'm going to be like, no, I'm taking Freddie V. He's going to give me 3.5 threes, 1.8 steals with all the goodies. Fred VanVleet's not that guy anymore. He's not. I don't think we're going to ever get that guy again because he's ascending in age a little bit here. I believe Houston is going to say goodbye to him this summer. And Andre, keep me honest on this. I believe Houston is a team option on Fred VanVleet heading into the summer. I believe that they will decline that team option and cast him into free agency. That's how I think this is going to go. You've got Reed Shepherd waiting in the wings. You've got Amen Thompson waiting for takeoff. And you don't need to pay Fred VanVleet $40 million. That's dumb money for a young team like Houston. He's just like, he helped them get the defensive identity off the ground. He and Dylan Brooks, right, bringing them in for the startup of Ime Udoka's run in Houston. Well, the culture's in place. And it is not Brooks and FVB culture. It's Ime culture, okay? He created that culture. Michael Malone created that culture in Denver. Nikola Jokic did not create that culture in Denver. Malone did, okay? Jokic, like Kevin Durant's not a culture setter, okay? Kevin Durant's like a laid-back alpha. That's what I've always called him. He's an alpha, but he's a laid-back alpha. The guys like Kobe, LeBron, Jordan, Magic, Bird, the dominant alphas. I don't know. There's probably like the predator alphas. I don't know. I don't know what word to put on that. But like the alphas among alphas, right? Those players are culture setters. Okay, and then you have coaches that are culture setters. New York is kind of a cross between Brunson and Thibodeau. I really think that's a blended culture setting situation because Thibodeau clearly with all the minutes and we don't rest and all that kind of stuff, but Brunson with the toughness, with the clutch, the availability, just all that stuff. So anyway, Freddie VanVleet, like, is he drifting towards becoming a backup? Like, is somebody going to sign him to be their backup point guard this summer? I just see the career arrow going down for Freddie VanVleet. So he's a faller right now and overall. Keegan Murray. Actually, I'm going to scratch him off because he's questionable tonight. If he doesn't play tonight, he's a faller. Duh. Malik Monk, out. He's a faller. I mean, if you're not playing. I mean, he was stinking up the joint before, and now he's not playing. And Andre says, oh, we got some notes here. I was wondering where the other half of the luxury tax payments went. He said half the amount is allocated to the franchises that have been diligent. You're so funny because that's commentary from Andre right there. Diligent. I think diligent is spend, and buy championships. He just says diligent. That's algorithm Andre for you. He says have been diligent and have not exceeded the salary cap. He said the other half is kept by the NBA for what are called league purposes. You gotta be kidding me, man. You've got to be kidding me. Are you serious? Are you? Oh, the league. Bring me my money. Bring me my money. I don't know how I feel about that, Andre. I don't know how I feel about that. League purposes. Is that building schools? Is that painting schools? I used to do that a lot. They'd have these volunteer days when I was up in New York with NBA TV and like everybody, like Bob Lanier and David Stern and Adam Silver and me and the bosses and camera operators and like NBA entertainment and NBA, like we all came together and we go to this school and paint it and like fix it up and all this kind of stuff. It was fun. It's cool. Giving back to the community. Hopefully like that stuff's going on. League purposes. Now, on the team option with Freddie VanVleet, he said, correct. I think they opt out and try to extend him for less money per year. Could happen. I think Houston should just walk away from all that. And Andre says league purposes can be, for example, giving grants to the team that paid the luxury tax. League purposes. League purposes. It's my new favorite phrase, Andre. League purposes. Okay, back to work. Followers, we mentioned Malik Monk, Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal's been back for 3 games. Okay, Bradley Beal scored 1 point, 16 points, and had 7 points last night. Bradley Beal has 24 points in 3 games since he returned. That's 8 points per game. Are you serious, bro? Are you serious? Dude, like just make up an injury. Just go into Mike Budenholzer's office and say, my ankle. Ow, my ankle. And just don't play. Like, he doesn't want to play, clearly. 116-7? The guy does not want to play. This is some, like, lacking love of the game stuff. This is some Ben Simmons stuff right here. Bruh, like, last night was literally, you're at death's door. You lose last night, you get eliminated. They got destroyed by 800 points last night. They didn't even want to be in the fight. Bradley Beal, just make up an injury and go home. Go golfing. Go on vacation, bro. 24. Did you know that Bradley Beal was back? You guys don't even friggin' know. Because why would you? He's got 24 points in 3 games. Kyle Filipowski. I mean, he's the homie. We love him over here. He's been good to us. But over the last 3 games, yikes, bro. 9, 9, and 6. Ooh, ugly. And his field goals over that stretch, 9, 9, and 6 are 9 for 35. Ugh. You know what's up? Our boy Kyle Filipowski is gassed. Our boy Kyle Filipowski has been playing a lot of minutes, playing a lot of games, a lot more than he played last year at Duke. He's been going up against NBA grown-ass men. Homie's tired. I think that's what's up. You see, it happened to Max Christie. Remember, Max Christie was kind of rolling, and then it just went boom. And, like, I mean, he hasn't recovered. Like, the rookie wall is a son of a you-know-what, man. And I think the rookie wall finally hit Filipowski. But Filipowski, we see you, bro. We see you. I like it. I like the future. It is bright. Talking about fallers here, heading into Wednesday night. All right, we get the Lakers and Dallas game, and I got a lot on that coming up here. Okay, props, and ATS release, all that kind of stuff. Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford, to me, are both fallers because they're in each other's way, and they're going to cannibalize one another. And you might get a relative pop game from one of them. It's not probably going to be both, and it's going to be very hard to predict. They're on minutes restrictions because they're fresh back from their injuries and that kind of thing. It's just, there's a lot of negativity there for me. PJ Washington's healthy. Anthony Davis is healthy. Najee Marshall is healthy. So you've got front court guys. I'm just not feeling it, guys. Not feeling it. And Norman Powell, and I don't say this overall, but I say this going into tonight. Last night, Norman Powell against the San Antonio Spurs had 25 points and made 9 of 19 shots. The Norman Powell that we loved pre-All-Star break when a lot of people thought he should have been an All-Star. Sabonis was my bonus guy, but a lot of you had Powell. And I think you're nuts. Sabonis not being an All-Star this year is one of the stupidest things in NBA history. It literally makes no sense at all. And I believe now it's 2 years in a row that he's been slept on for All-Star. Maybe Silver got him there last year. I can't remember. But Norman Powell tonight is a faller because he's going to suffer. You might even want to go with a point prop under on him. Kawhi Leonard's going to be coming back dominating the ball. You're going to have James Harden dominating the ball. You're going to have Zubats doing his thing. And then you've got all the Derek Jones Jr.'s, the Amir Coffeys, the Bogey Bogdanoviches, right? And so I think Norman Powell is going to go boop, and he's going to drop down tonight because Kawhi Leonard is back. I was right. He was not an All-Star last year. Sabonis, 2021, and 2023. Sabonis should be a 5-time All-Star, which basically perfectly positions him for the Hall of Fame. But because of some bull crap and terrible voting and blah, 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 and people sleeping on Sack because they're Sack, he has 3 All-Stars instead of 5. Still should be a Hall of Famer, but that bothers me. When you are doing historic stuff and you don't make the All-Star game, it's kind of a basketball tragedy. If you're having like a pop year and a good year, and it's just that, and it's not historic, and you don't make the All-Star team, it's a disappointment. It's a tragedy when a guy putting up historic numbers like Sabonis does not make the All-Star team. All right, those are my fallers. Now, to some ATS releases for you. And let's riff a little bit here on Lakers and Mavericks. As we speak, it's Lakers minus 3.5. I like the Lakers tonight, guys. Do I love them? No, but I like them, okay? I mean, like, there's a level of love if I hit you with an ATS release or a prop bet, okay? I put a lot of time into this. The Lakers. Are they not just a better team than the Dallas Mavericks? What do you guys think? You guys think Dallas is at the Lakers level? I don't. This line would be 7, 8, 9 if it were in LA. It's in Dallas. It's the Luka return. Davis against the Lakers. And so, we're at a 3.5 point line here. I'm playing it. I like the Lakers tonight. Guys, the Clippers just annihilated the Dallas Mavericks with Anthony Davis, with PJ Washington, with their guys. It's like 135 to 104, something like that. And this was on Saturday. This was the second of a back-to-back, but you had a lot of guys playing for Dallas in that second of a back-to-back that did not play the night before, Anthony Davis being one of them. And you still got trucked by 100 points by the Clippers. This Dallas team is like not ready for prime time. Okay? They're not. Let me look at the standings here real quick. Is Dallas even in the play-in tournament? Yes, they are, and they're going to make it. So they're in. They're 3 games up on Phoenix and Portland. And I guess I saw something on Twitter that Phoenix was eliminated from the playoffs. Maybe I got to refresh the standings here. Refreshing standings, folks. And Phoenix, it still does not say that they've been eliminated on ESPN.com's standings. But Dallas is going to make it. They are 3 games up on Phoenix and Portland, and they will make it, okay? But that's all they are as a play-in tournament team. That's all they are. Nothing more, nothing less. Probably one and done in the play-in tournament. You have, the Lakers, obviously, it did not go their way last night against Oklahoma City. Luka got tossed. So they got a chip on their shoulder coming into this. They're pissed off about that, because it was like a 1-point game or something. Luka gets thrown out, and then everything goes haywire. So that's going to be kind of driving the Los Angeles Lakers here. Luka clearly is going to be driven to hit as many jumpers as possible in Dumont and Nico's face. And, Anthony Davis clearly is going to try to take a bite out of his former team as well. But the Lakers have 3 just badass offensive players right now. LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves. Arguably the best big 3 in the sport right now. I still... When you talk to me about Kristaps Porzingis, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown, the reigning champs, it's kind of where I go. But LeBron, Luka, and Reeves, it's kind of a tie. You talk to me tomorrow, I may say it's the Lakers, but watching last night and Porzingis doing his thing, Tatum doing his thing. Brown didn't have a great game, but Jaylen Brown's Jaylen Brown. That's the homie. I love him. Love Jaylen Brown. So serious. I love guys that are serious. They want to win. They need to win. They don't just want to win like James Harden. I love that. I'd probably have to give it to Boston because they're the champs, but the Lakers' big three is right there. They have more octane. They do. And I'm not crazy about the Lakers players outside of their big three, but they're just better than the Dallas Mavericks. And I know it's going to be an emotionally charged arena. LeBron James is up for that. Luka is up for that. Austin Reeves is up for that. None of these guys are going to shrink. They're all going to expand. And I think the Lakers are going to cover the 3.5. I like Chicago tonight, guys. They're a home dog, and I think Miami's getting too much credit here. Chicago is plus 1.5 at home against the Miami Heat. Both teams are 36-43. Both teams are they're going to play in the 9-10 game in the play-in tournament next week. And so this game goes a long way towards determining who has home court in that game. Again, right now it's tied. The season series is in favor of Chicago, 2-0. And Miami, this is the last meeting. So Chicago has already won the head-to-head tiebreaker, which is huge. So they can essentially lock up the 9 seed and home court advantage in the play-in tournament next week with a win tonight. Because if they win tonight, then it's a 1-game lead over the Miami Heat, right? And you've got the head-to-head tiebreaker, which makes it essentially a 2-game lead over the Miami Heat. It's a huge game in Chicago tonight. And you guys know Chicago, or maybe you don't, I don't know. But Chicago plays fun games. They just do. They get up for the better teams. They maybe kind of play down to the shitty teams. And then so that game's good too. A lot of them go to overtime. Stacey King calls them the cardiac bulls, because they're always like, here comes the big one, right? And when Giddey hit the shot, Stacey King was making all of the Sanford and Son references. It's an old school show. A guy named Jamie Foxx, not the Jamie Foxx that we know now, but the old Jamie Foxx. It was a 1970s sitcom. And so he was making all kinds of references to it. And it was absolutely hilarious. Like, Elizabeth, I'm coming. This is the big one. Oh, my God. It was so funny. I love Stacey King and Adam Amin. They're my guys. Now, it's going to be tough tonight. I'm going to have Lakers and Mavs. I'll probably watch Miami and Chicago on my phone and then have Lakers and Mavs up on my TV. But Chicago, okay, plus the 1.5. So it's a big game. And I like I said earlier, I think Giddey plays, Vucevic plays, White plays, and Herter plays. I think they're all going to play tonight. If they don't, then all bets are off. And I'm not doing this, okay? But they're going to play them tonight. Chicago's 2-0 against Miami this year. So, okay, I like all of that. I kind of like the board tonight. I like Houston plus 7.5 at the Clippers if Alpi Şengün plays. I don't care about Van Vliet. Not worried about that. He's doubtful. I've already computed that and built that in. I don't care. To me, Van Vliet, with all the 3 of 15s and the 2 of 17s and the 1 of damn 10 shooting lines, like he's hurting the team, not helping the team. They'd be better off with the young fella Reed Shepherd out there right now. I'm kidding. It's a joke. It's a Dr. A joke. Something Dr. A would say, right? I know with the playoffs coming, you need vets, you need experience and all that kind of stuff. And Houston being like getting 7.5 points, the Clippers are in the second of a back-to-back, tells me that maybe Şengün doesn't play tonight. And you're going to have to play this one out, deep into the night. It's a 10:30 Eastern joint, okay? Don't play this now. This would be a situation where Houston is getting 7.5 points after you find out they've ruled out Fred VanVleet and they have green-lit Alpi Şengün and Jabari Smith, who are both questionable. Activate, pounce, take Houston plus 7.5 if that is what happens. If Alpi Şengün is ruled out, don't play Houston plus 7.5. It's that simple. That's a conditional one for you there. Golden State over San Antonio. Again, this is not like if Stephen Curry rests, if Jimmy Butler rests, and or Draymond Green, Brandon Podziemski, any of those 4 guys or a cluster of those 4 guys rest, all bets are off. But if all 4 of those guys play, then I will lay the 16.5 points because San Antonio has been getting absolutely drilled by a lot of teams. It seems like game after game. And second of a back-to-back, like San Antonio lets go of the rope. That's just kind of been how they've been operating. They haven't really been attacking these second of back-to-backs with a whole lot of zeal and vitriol. Golden State right now, oh my God. They got to play their guys tonight. They're a part of a cluster. The Clippers, the Nuggets, the Warriors, and the Grizzlies are all tied. Oh my God. They're all 47 and 32. That's insane. They're all one game back of the LA Lakers. What if the Lakers lose to the Mavericks tonight and the Clippers win and the Nuggets win and the Warriors win and the Grizzlies win? Do the Grizzlies play tonight? They do not. Okay. But the Clippers, Nugs, and Warriors, then they would all move into a tie with the Los Angeles Lakers for third place in the West. This is as good as it gets. Golden State can't rest their guys. They can't. The Lakers can't rest their guys. Like they literally can't. This is the good stuff. Push your body to the limit, baby. Pour a pint of blood out on that basketball court. This is the stuff that gets me excited, man. Let's go. Guys digging deep. Guys going farther than they even think their bodies can go. Push yourself, man. Get uncomfortable. This is all the good stuff, man. I like this. Golden State, giddy up. They're playing their guys minus 16 and a half. They're going to beat San Antonio by 30 tonight. And then OKC over Phoenix tonight. OKC is a 9.5-point favorite at Phoenix. Phoenix just let go of the rope in their death game. Second of a back-to-back. ESPN says they're not eliminated from the playoffs. So maybe I need to check up on that. But they're screwed. They're 3 games behind Dallas with 3 games to go. They're not making that up. Come on. So does Phoenix like I talk about the bounce back factor and they just got drilled. And so now we're going to get the pop and the rise. I'm not feeling that from Phoenix. I think these guys are waiting on their coach to get whacked. So I like OKC here minus 9.5. If SGA is ruled out, if Jalen Williams is ruled out, if Chet Holmgren is ruled out, any of those guys are ruled out, I'm not playing this. Okay. Those 3 guys got to play. And then I'm on this. Okay. Because it's 9.5 on the road. And if OKC is going with Aaron Wiggins and Caruso and Cason Wallace and Jalen Williams, right? Then no. Nope. Nope. Because it's we talk about known versus unknown. That's an unknown. How are those guys going to do? In a completely meaningless game for OKC against a Phoenix team that just got drilled. That's an unknown to me that I don't want to go with. Now, Ricky Props says hi to you. Hello, Ricky Props is here. Let's go back to the Dallas and Laker game. Austin Reeves, point prop over at 19.5. Austin Reeves has been one of the best players in hoops over the last couple of weeks. I thought that the Luka Doncic arrival would mean less stats from Austin Reeves. Guys, I am right more than I am wrong, but I don't get them all right. And I got that one wrong, and I'm not sorry because I have Austin Reeves on the Cam Dynasty, helped me win a chip. I'm trying to think. I got Reeves off the waiver wire 3 years ago at the end of the year. Remember he had that little late season pop, that little silly season pop. I think LeBron was out too. And I'm like, let's pick up Austin Reeves. I didn't win the chip that year because I didn't have Cade. I didn't have LeBron. And I had like key guys out. Didn't win the chip. And I've won back-to-back chips in that league. And Austin Reeves has been a big reason why. Austin Reeves, you the homie, bro. Over the last 5 games, 24, 20, 30, 31, 12. Okay. And the number's 19.5. I'll go over on that. I think Anthony Davis is going to have a big game tonight. I do. Anthony Davis's point prop is 26.5. It's a big number. Okay. I think he's hitting for 30 tonight. I think Anthony Davis is going to be great tonight. He is going to want to stick it to his former team. You know, he and Braun are brothers. So, you know, there's just going to be that like friendly, but still like, I don't like you right now competition, right? Like, you know, we can go have dinner after the game, but like right now, no, this is old school. This is blood, you know? And so I think Davis is going to have a really good game. Last 2 games, he's been lathered up. Okay. He had the 34-point explosion, came back with a 27-point game. And so he's in good rhythm right now. He's in good form heading into this game. Anthony Davis, I have a question for you guys. Who guards Anthony Davis? I'll sit back and wait. Who guards Anthony Davis tonight, guys? Jackson Hayes? Stop laughing. LeBron James? You think LeBron James wants to get in the pinch post and the elbow and the low block with Anthony Davis? You think he wants to do that? Luka Doncic. Dorian Finney-Smith. Maybe he's the guy. Rui Hachimura. Andre is submitting Jared Vanderbilt, but he comes off the bench. So first 5 minutes of the game, before they start bringing in bench players, who guards Anthony Davis? Bron? Dorian Finney-Smith probably will get that assignment. And Dorian Finney-Smith will get mouthed time and time again with buckets. They don't have a matchup for Anthony Davis. I'm telling you right now, he is going to shoot over 26.5 points tonight. Guys, Ricky Props is in full effect. I like Klay Thompson, baby. Klay Thompson, point prop over at 12.5. I know, an attractive number there, folks. Last 5 games, Klay has gone 14, 2, 17, 13, 20. He's been over this number in 4 of the last 5. Big game Klay. It's what we call him, right? It's a too-used nickname, but for this case, I'm going to use it because it makes my point here. Klay is averaging 17.5 points against LA this year. Big game Klay is going to be on his game tonight. So many prop bets, guys. Okay, here's the front page. I got to go to the back page. That's how many props. That's how much I like this board tonight. All right, let's go back to the Chicago and Miami game. I like Tyler Hero tonight, guys. 24.5 point prop over. Last 4 games, Tyler Hero is cooking like James Harden used to. Okay, 27 points, 25 points, 35 points, 20 points. Over this number in 3 of the last 4. He is a big game player. I like Tyler Hero. He's got balls. He rises to the occasion. He runs into the smoke. He does not run from it. Who guards him on the Chicago Bulls? Who guards him? Kobe White, Josh Giddey, Kevin Huerter, Matas Buzelis, Vucevic. They don't have a matchup for him, guys. They don't have a matchup for Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero is going to get buckets tonight. Huge game for both teams, and he's going to plug into that. And then I want to go to the Sacramento-Denver game. And because of the unknown of the coaching switch, I'm not talking about the Denver side, okay? And by everything's so priced out on Jokic, you can't even bet him anyway. I've got a combo platter for you here, okay? It's a hedge, but also I think I'm going to win both. DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine. Point prop over on both of these guys. You are not going to lose both of these bets. You might split and go 1-1. That's worst case scenario here. I believe that both of these guys are going to hit their point prop overs. DeRozan's at 23.5. Check out his game log. 37, 28, 22, 29, 31. I'll just stop right there. You get the idea. Zach LaVine has 80 points in his last 2 games. The game before that, he had 25. LaVine is hitting a big-time high note right now, and he does not need to hit for 30 or hit for 40. He needs to hit for 22, okay, against a bad defensive Denver Nugget team that's in major transition and turmoil, okay? I like both DeRozan and LaVine to hit their point prop overs tonight. Keegan Murray is questionable. You don't have Malik Monk, which makes me like DeRozan and LaVine a lot. And then Keegan Murray might miss this game as well. So there you go. I like DeRozan over 23.5 points. I like LaVine over 21.5 points. I like Hero over 24.5 points. I like Klay over 12.5 points. AD over 26.5 points. And Reeves over 19.5 points. Big shout out to my homie Andre Lemouche for all of the great intel and all the great work that he does. We will be back tomorrow, me and Dr. A, 10 a.m. Eastern time on Thursday morning with the full recap of all of the great stuff that we see on Wednesday night. Go to your favorite app store and download the Sports Ethos app. You're going to need it as you close the deal on these championships, scrolling with your left thumb, finding out who's in, who's out, who's starting, who's hot, who's not. We got it all out there for you. We got MLB blurbs and NFL blurbs for you as well. And they rock. Go to sportsethos.com, subscribe to our work over there. Subscribe to the Sports Ethos podcast feed. Subscribe to the Sports Ethos YouTube channel. Subscribe to this Fantasy NBA Today YouTube channel. That would really hook us up. Give us a 5-star review and maybe even write us a review and help us build this thing and blow it up in a good way. Not how Denver blew up their team with the Malone and Booth thing, but in a good way. Try to blow this thing up and become even bigger. You know we're the best in the biz right now. Now we're trying to billow this thing. So I am out. Good luck with all your wagers. Good luck with all your fantasy decisions. Again, me and Doc are back here tomorrow at 10 a.m. with the full recap coming off the Luka and AD showdown. For Andre and all of you who I love so much, I am Rick Kamla. We'll see you next time on the Fantasy NBA Today.